The stillness of the void was shattered when an ancient probe, long dormant at the edge of the solar system, awoke. Its sensors, dulled by centuries of cosmic radiation, detected an anomaly, a fleet, vast and foreboding, creeping closer to Earth. The probe's last act, powered by the dimming light of distant stars, was to send a warning to Earth's leaders. Embedded in the data was a cryptic message from Earth's ancestors, a prophecy of a looming war and a mysterious ally. It concluded with a stark warning: guard the gateway, the storm approaches. Trust the heir of Ares. In the dimly lit United Nations Security Council chamber, the air was thick with tension as representatives from around the globe convened for an emergency meeting. General Leo Ramirez stood at the podium, his gaze sweeping over the assembly. His voice was steady, yet it carried the weight of imminent danger. Ladies and gentlemen, at 300 hours, our long-dormant outer solar system probes lit up like Christmas trees. We've detected a massive fleet advancing towards Earth. I don't need to tell you, it's the Z sector. Those bastards didn't come here to talk. They came for blood, Leo declared, his words echoing off the walls. Dr. Elena Myles, the leading expert in xenotechnology, approached the podium next, her presence commanding silence. Our analysis suggests that this isn't their first rodeo. We've unearthed artifacts dating back centuries, possibly millennia. It appears the Z sector have been manipulating human progress from the shadows, steering us on a path they designed. The room erupted in murmurs. A Chinese delegate asked, "What does this mean for our defense strategy?" Elena answered, "It means we've been playing checkers while they've been playing 3D chess. But it also means we have their tech, reverse-engineered and ready to deploy." Leo interjected, "That's right. We've got a few aces up our sleeve. Hidden orbital platforms, relics of the first skirmish that were mothballed after the Cold War. It's high time we brought them online." A Russian general, his voice gruff with urgency, questioned, "And our countermeasures? Are they enough to stop a full-scale invasion?" "We're about to find out," Leo replied grimly. "We've reactivated the old satellite arrays and equipped them with the latest in pulse armament technology. Plus, we've got a little surprise for them, Project Aegis. A shield that not only blocks incoming fire, but also fries anything electronic that dares to breach it." A Brazilian representative leaned forward, her tone skeptical. "And what if they have new technology? Something we haven't seen before? That's where our secret weapon comes in. We don't just play defense, we hit them hard and where it hurts," Leo growled, slamming a fist into his palm. The British ambassador raised an eyebrow. "And the civilians? How do we protect them from the fallout?" Leo's expression softened. Every city with a population over 1 million is being outfitted with Aegis tech. We keep the home front safe while taking the fight to their doorstep. As the meeting adjourned, Leo and Elena shared a brief look, an unspoken understanding between them. They walked out together, their steps resolute. Outside, Leo lit a cigarette, the smoke curling into the night air. "You think we got through to them?" he asked, eyes narrowing against the smoke. Elena nodded. "We did what we had to. Now it's up to every damn technician, soldier, and scientist to hold the line. The moon's dark side never sees the sun, and it's colder than a witch's kiss out there, but for Dr. Elena Myles and General Leo Ramirez, it was the hotbed of Earth's last stand. Nestled within a crater was a base that hummed with activity and anticipation. Hidden since the Cold War, reactivated in Earth's dire hour, it was here that humanity's countermeasures against the Z sector would spring to life. Leo paced the floor of the command center, his boots clanking on the metal grates. "How long till the ion cannons are online?" he barked to a tech who was elbows deep in a panel. "Give us 10 more minutes, General. Calibration's a bitch with this old tech, but she'll sing soon," the technician yelled back, his hands moving in a blur. Elena was hunched over a holographic display, her eyes scanning lines of code that interfaced human technology with alien enhancements. "We've managed to integrate Z sector circuitry with our systems," she explained without looking up. "It's unstable, but damn effective. This hybrid tech could double the firepower of our drones." Beside her, Jax, now a squadron leader, watched with keen interest. And the fighters? Are they ready to roll? Your birds are patched up with the latest alien shields. Hit and run will be your game, Elena replied, finally meeting his gaze. Jax grinned, a wild, reckless sort of smile. Just how I like it. In the shadows of the command center, a new figure approached a liaison from the mysterious alien ally who had promised aid in their last communication. She was a Z-Cetar defector, her scales shimmering slightly in the low light. My name is Serena, she introduced herself. I bring technology and tactics from the rebellion. We are few, but we are committed to your cause. Leo extended his hand, his demeanor cautious but welcoming. Your help could tip the scales, Serena. What can we expect from your tech? Serena placed a device on the table. It hummed softly, a sphere of alien metals and pulsing lights. This is a phase disruptor. It can temporarily disable the Z-Cetar's shields, making them vulnerable to your strikes. A strategy meeting ensued, with Leo and Elena absorbing every piece of advice Serena offered. Maps were laid out, targets pinpointed, and contingencies planned. Every second counted, and there was no room for hesitation. The first wave will be crucial, Leo stated firmly, pointing to a sector of space where they expected the Z-Cetar to appear. We need a solid punch. Jax, your squadron will lead. Hit them hard and fast. Jax nodded, the responsibility settling on his shoulders like a mantle. We won't let you down, sir. These bastards won't know what hit them. As the meeting disbanded, Elena lingered by the holographic display, her thoughts racing. She tapped into the base's communication array, sending a burst of encrypted data to Earth's orbiting satellites. It's all up to us now, she murmured, more to herself than anyone else. High above Earth, the silence of space was shattered by the ominous hum of the Z-Cetar fleet as it slid through the void. Massive, imposing, and utterly relentless, the Armada advanced with the inexorability of a tidal wave poised to crash upon the shores of humanity's last refuge. General Leo Ramirez watched the approaching threat from the observation deck of the ISS command hub, his jaw set in a grim line. So, the bastards finally made it, he muttered under his breath. Beside him, Dr. Elena Myles monitored the incoming data streams, her fingers dancing over the touch panels with practiced urgency. Communications array is locked and loaded. Ready to broadcast your welcoming message, Leo? Elena's voice was steady, belying the tension that gripped her heart. Do it, Leo replied curtly. The next moment, his grizzled face appeared on every screen across the Z-Cetar fleet, his voice resonating through the vacuum via relayed signals. Attention Z-Cetar invaders, he began, his tone laced with defiance. This is Earth. We know why you're here, and I'll tell you now you won't find what you're looking for. Not without a fight. On the moon's surface, Jax readied his squadron of hybrid fighters, the pilots checking their weapon systems one last time. All right, team, remember what we trained for. Hit fast, hit hard, and make these alien freaks regret they ever looked our way. As the first Z-Cetar ships entered attack range, a flurry of activity erupted from Earth's defenses. Ion cannons, powered by the hybrid technology and primed by Elena's genius, unleashed a barrage of charged particles. The shots were precise, calculated to disrupt and damage. In the cockpit of his fighter, Jax led the charge. The space around him lit up with the blaze of combat, missiles, and countermeasures, painting a tapestry of destruction against the backdrop of the cosmos. Take that, you sons of space dogs! He yelled, as his squadron scored a direct hit on a Z-Cetar cruiser, its shields flickering and failing under the onslaught. Amidst the chaos, an unexpected ally made their presence known. Serena, aboard her rebel Z-Cetar ship, flanked by other defector vessels, opened fire on their former comrades. For freedom and the future, she proclaimed over the comm, her voice a beacon of solidarity in the tumult of battle. Back at the command hub, Leo and Elena watched the tide of battle ebb and flow. We're holding them off for now, Elena noted. But it's not enough to push them back. We need something more. Leo nodded, his mind racing through scenarios. Prepare the phase disruptor, he ordered. It's time to put Serena's gift to use. As the disruptor powered up, a palpable silence fell over the command center. Elena initiated the sequence, her finger hovering over the launch button. "Here goes nothing," she whispered, pressing down decisively. A wave of energy surged from the lunar base, invisible yet potent. It swept across the battlefield, and where it passed, the Z-Cetar shields flickered out, leaving their ships exposed and vulnerable. "Now!" Leo roared into the comm. "All units, full assault!" Amid the stars, the tide of battle shifted. On the International Space Station, now a nerve center for Earth's orbital defense, General Leo Ramirez and Dr. Elena Myles received the Allied Z-Cetar fleet with cautious optimism. Serena, their defector liaison, had proven instrumental, and now her fleet's arrival promised a new dawn in the conflict. Leo, standing before the main viewing port, watched as Serena's ships took formation alongside Earth's. He turned to address his team in the control room, his voice imbued with a rugged determination. "This is it. We integrate our forces, share intel, and hit the Z-Cetar where it hurts." Elena worked feverishly at her station, rerouting power and syncing the hybrid systems with the Z-Cetar technology provided by Serena. "We've got their shield frequencies now," she announced over the comm. "It's time to recalibrate our weapons to exploit this intel." Serena, communicating from her flagship, added, "Our knowledge of their command structure will cripple their response capabilities. Target their flagship's command center. Without it, they'll be in disarray." Jax, eager and fierce, rallied his squadron with a fiery zeal. "You heard them. Let's carve up some space junk." As Earth's and Rebel Z-Cetar's combined fleets maneuvered into position, a synchronized strike became imminent. Leo, coordinating the offensive from ISS, gave the go-ahead. "All units, execute Plan Delta." In the vacuum of space, the silence was shattered by the renewed barrage of Earth's ion cannons, now tuned precisely to the frequency vulnerabilities shared by Serena. The Z-Cetar fleet, caught off guard by the ferocity and precision of the assault, faltered as their shields failed under the specialized weaponry. Below, on Earth, civilians, who had been following the fight via broadcasts, felt a surge of hope as reports of the Z-Cetar's weakening defenses reached them. In Times Square, crowds watched jumbotrons depicting the live feeds from space, cheering each reported victory. Back on the ISS, Elena monitored the effectiveness of each strike. Shield penetration at 90% efficiency. "We're pushing them back." Leo, focused and unyielding, kept his eyes glued to the tactical displays. "Prepare to send in the drones for cleanup. This ends today." As the final push intensified, Serena's forces executed a flanking maneuver, exploiting openings created by the joint Earth-human offensive. Together, they managed to isolate the Z-Cetar flagship, severely damaging its propulsion and command systems. In the chaos, a desperate message from the Z-Cetar command filtered through the comm systems, a plea for parley. Leo, grinning fiercely, responded, "Send your terms, but know this any deceit, and we end this permanently." The battle paused as negotiations began. Leo, Serena, and Elena conferred on strategy, readying themselves to deal with potential tricks or traps. "Trust but verify," Leo muttered, a mantra for the precarious peace talks. The dust of battle settled above Earth as a fragile peace took root. In the Grand Assembly Hall of the United Nations, leaders of the world, alongside their new Z-Cetar allies, gathered to formalize the ceasefire. General Leo Ramirez, with Dr. Elena Myles at his side, represented Earth's military interests, while Serena spoke on behalf of the Z-Cetar rebels. The atmosphere in the hall was electric, charged with the palpable relief of humanity's survival and the cautious optimism of forging a new path forward. At the podium, Leo addressed the assembly. "Today marks a new chapter in human history," he began, his voice resonant and commanding. "Together, we faced annihilation, and together, we turn the tide. But let this victory not give rise to complacency. Instead, let it herald a new era of cooperation." Elena followed, her tone academic yet impassioned. The technology shared by our ZCTAR allies has opened up new scientific frontiers. In honor of our combined efforts and the peace we hope to build, I propose the ARIES project, a joint exploratory initiative to seek out new life and civilizations, ensuring our shared security and furthering our collective knowledge. Murmurs of approval echoed around the room. Serena, her scales shimmering subtly under the conference room lights, added, "The Z-Stigtar are committed to this alliance. We bring not just our technology, but our resolve to protect our new home Earth." The motion was passed unanimously, and the signing of the Galactic Coalition Treaty was broadcast worldwide, a symbol of unity and a promise of a peaceful future. Outside the United Nations, in the bustling streets of New York, citizens celebrated. Screens across Times Square played footage of the treaty signing, interspersed with images of the joint human Z-Stigtar forces in action. The mood was jubilant, a collective exhale after the held breath of war. Back at the newly established coalition headquarters, formerly a secretive military base and now a beacon of interspecies collaboration, Leo, Elena, and Serena discussed the logistics of the ARIES project. "We'll need to establish a training program for our teams," Elena suggested. "Human and Z-Stigtar working side by side, learning from each other." Leo nodded, his demeanor still tinged with the soldier's pragmatism. "We'll start with joint patrols in the sectors we reclaimed from the Z-Stigtar Empire. Build trust, test our operational compatibility." Serena, looking out over Earth from the headquarters viewing deck, felt a surge of hope. "This planet, your Earth, has shown me what resilience truly looks like. I believe, together, we can create something unprecedented." As the first joint crews prepared for their missions, the stories of their camaraderie and shared challenges became the first threads in the fabric of the new coalition. Training missions often turned into exchanges of culture and technology, each learning from the other's strengths.